Chosen ones, take a moment to breathe deeply and attune your heart to the divine frequency of this message. It's not just words, it's a call to those who recognize their sacred path. If you feel a spark of recognition within, you're about to embark on a journey of profound significance. You're not here by accident. You're about to step into something far greater than you've imagined. You're about to step into greatness. Only the chosen understand this vibe. This is not a moment to shrink back or second-guess yourself. You've been prepared for this season, and everything you've endured has led you to this point. The world may not understand the energy you carry, but those who walk this path know the truth. You are standing on the brink of a profound transformation. This message will help you see why stepping into this greatness is essential for your growth and how to prepare for the next phase of your divine purpose. Stay with me as we explore what's coming and how this moment will change your life forever. Chosen one, if you're here, it's no accident. Subscribe and turn on notifications to join the Kingdom Calls family and never miss divine wisdom. As a chosen one, there's something profound about stepping into your greatness, a moment where everything you've been preparing for comes together. The path you've walked has been filled with trials, moments of doubt, and times when the world around you couldn't understand the depth of your calling. You've been misunderstood, perhaps even isolated at times, because the journey of the chosen is often misunderstood by those who haven't been called to the same purpose. Yet, deep within you, there's always been a sense that you're meant for something greater, something that goes beyond the ordinary. This feeling, this knowing, is not just a passing thought. It is God stirring within you, preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. Stepping into greatness, however, is not simply about outward success or recognition. It's not about the world acknowledging who you are or what you've accomplished. No, it's about something much deeper. It's about aligning with the divine purpose God has placed on your life and walking in that purpose with confidence, faith, and humility. The greatness you're stepping into is not defined by worldly standards. It's defined by God's unique plan for your life. One of the challenges many chosen ones face when stepping into this phase is the emotional weight that comes with it. There's often a tension between the expectations placed on you by others and the deeper calling you feel within. You may feel the pressure to conform to the world's idea of greatness, achievements, accolades, material success, but the greatness God is calling you to is far more profound. It's about spiritual alignment, fulfilling a divine mission, and impacting the lives of those around you in ways that go beyond what the world can measure. This phase of your journey requires deep trust in God's timing. You've been prepared for this moment through seasons of growth, seasons where you've been stretched, molded, and refined. There may have been times when you questioned why things weren't happening as quickly as you thought they should, or why doors remained closed despite your best efforts. But every delay, every challenge was part of the preparation. God was not withholding greatness from you. He was preparing you for it, and now you are on the brink of stepping into that greatness with the full understanding that it's not about what you do, it's about who you become. The emotional and spiritual challenges that come with this transition are real. It's not uncommon to feel unworthy or unprepared as you step into the fullness of what God has for you. The enemy may even try to convince you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, or that the calling on your life is too big for you to handle. These are the moments when you must remind yourself of the truth. God has already equipped you for this. Every trial you've faced, every lesson you've learned has been building you up for this very moment. You are not walking into greatness alone. God is with you, guiding your every step. Another challenge you may face is the fear of failure. Stepping into greatness often requires taking risks, stepping out of your comfort zone, and trusting that God will provide what you need. It's easy to look at the obstacles and become overwhelmed, but remember that God has not brought you this far to abandon you. The greatness you are stepping into is not dependent on your strength alone. It is fueled by God's power working through you. When you align with His will, nothing can stand in your way. It's also important to understand that stepping into greatness doesn't mean the challenges stop. In fact, with greater purpose often comes greater opposition. The enemy knows the impact you're about to have and will try to distract, discourage, or derail you. But this is where your faith must remain unshaken. You've been chosen for this, and God has already won the victory on your behalf. The challenges are simply opportunities for you to lean deeper into your faith, trusting that God will fight your battles as you walk in obedience to His calling. In this season of stepping into greatness, it's crucial to surround yourself with those who understand your journey. Not everyone will understand the vibe of a chosen one, why you move the way you do, why you make the choices you make, or why your path looks different from others. And that's okay. This journey isn't meant to be understood by everyone. God will place the right people in your life, those who can encourage, pray for you, and remind you of the greatness you carry. Surrounding yourself with people who see you for who you truly are, not just what you do, is key to staying grounded as you step forward into greatness and inspire those God has called you to influence. As you continue your journey as a chosen one, reflecting on the path that has brought you to this moment, you begin to see that everything you've encountered has played a significant role in shaping you. The challenges, the setbacks, the moments of doubt, all of them were preparing you for something greater. This journey is not just about stepping into greatness, it's about understanding the depth of your spiritual growth and recognizing how God has been at work within you all along. You've likely felt moments where the weight of your calling felt overwhelming. Maybe you questioned whether you were truly capable of stepping into the purpose God has set for you. These doubts, however, were not signs of weakness. They were opportunities for you to lean deeper into your faith, to trust God more completely, and to recognize that His strength is made perfect in your weakness. Every moment of hesitation or uncertainty has been a vital part of your spiritual development, allowing you to grow into the person God has always intended you to be. As you reflect on these experiences, it's important to see them not as obstacles, but as stepping stones. Each trial has sharpened your discernment, deepened your connection with God, and refined your understanding of your purpose. It's easy to look at the challenges and wonder why they were necessary, but when you begin to see them as part of the divine preparation process, you start to understand their value. They were not meant to deter you from your path, but to prepare you to walk it with greater clarity and purpose. This phase of your journey is also a time for spiritual insight. God has been speaking to you throughout your life, but sometimes it's difficult to hear His voice amid the noise of the world. As you step into this new season, it's essential to quiet the distractions and tune into the divine wisdom He's been offering. He's been guiding your steps, even when you didn't realize it, and now, more than ever, you need to trust in that guidance. You are not walking this path alone. God is with you in every moment, revealing what you need to know as you move forward. In moments of doubt, it's easy to focus on the external, what others think, how they perceive your journey, or whether you're meeting the expectations placed upon you. But the truth is, this journey is not about external validation. The greatness you're stepping into is not defined by how the world sees you. It's about how God sees you. He has called you to something extraordinary, and the opinions of others cannot diminish the calling He has placed on your life. In this period of reflection, it's also important to look inward. What has God been teaching you about yourself? What areas of your life has He been refining? Perhaps there are parts of your character that needed to be strengthened, or maybe He's been teaching you patience, humility, or trust. Whatever the lessons, they have not been wasted. God is intentional in everything He does, and the lessons you've learned are shaping you into the person you need to be to fulfill the calling He has for you. One of the key insights that may emerge during this time is the importance of surrender. As you step into greatness, it's tempting to rely on your own abilities, your own understanding, and your own plans. But true greatness, the kind that aligns with God's purpose, requires a posture of surrender. It's about releasing control, trusting that God's plan is better than anything you could imagine, and allowing Him to lead you, even when the path is unclear. This doesn't mean you're passive in your journey. On the contrary, it takes great strength to surrender to God's will. It requires faith to let go of your own desires and trust that He will guide you to something far greater than you could have envisioned. When you reflect, you may realize that the times you tried to control the outcome were the moments you felt most lost. But when you surrendered, allowing God to take the lead, everything began to fall into place perfectly. This phase of preparation calls for deeper trust, not only in God, but also in the gifts He has placed within you. God never calls you without first equipping you. The wisdom, insights, and skills you've gained along the way are all part of His divine plan. Every step you've taken has been preparing you for the next incredible phase of your journey. Trust that you are ready, that everything you need is already within you, and that God is guiding you towards something greater than you can imagine. This is your time to step fully into your purpose. As you move through this phase of your journey as a chosen one, you may feel the weight of anticipation building. There is something stirring deep within you, a sense that you are on the cusp of something great, something profound. Yet, despite the excitement, there may also be a lingering tension. You've come so far, learned so much, and grown spiritually in ways you never imagined. But there is still a sense of waiting, of not quite being there yet. This space, where anticipation meets uncertainty, is where God does some of His greatest work in us. The title of this message likely resonates with you deeply, but it also raises questions. You may be wondering, what exactly am I stepping into? What does this greatness look like for me? These are important questions, and you may feel both excitement and apprehension as you contemplate the answers. It's crucial to recognize that the anticipation you feel is not just a waiting game. It's part of the process, part of the preparation. God often uses these moments of tension to draw us closer to Him, to deepen our faith, and to ready us for the next phase of our journey. At this point in your journey, you've likely experienced glimpses of the greatness that lies ahead. Maybe God has already given you a vision of what's possible, or perhaps you've felt a sense of destiny pulling you towards something bigger than yourself. But even with these glimpses, it's easy to feel like you're still in the dark about how everything will unfold. You may have moments of doubt, wondering if you're truly ready for what's coming, or if you have what it takes to step into your full potential. These questions are natural, and they serve a purpose. God is not trying to keep you in suspense for no reason. He is using this time to prepare you, to strengthen your resolve, and to remind you that the greatness you're stepping into is not something you have to achieve on your own. It's a partnership with Him. The tension you feel, the waiting, the questioning, is meant to push you closer to Him, to lean on His wisdom and guidance even more than before. As you reflect on this moment of anticipation, consider the signs around you. God often gives us external signs to confirm the internal shifts happening within us. Have you noticed doors beginning to open, opportunities presenting themselves that you didn't expect? Perhaps there are people entering your life who seem to align with the direction you feel called to go. These are not coincidences. They are signs that God is orchestrating something in your life, something bigger than what you can see right now. At the same time, you may also encounter resistance. The enemy often tries to disrupt our path, just as we are about to step into something significant. Perhaps you've faced setbacks or challenges recently that have made you question whether you're really on the right track. But take heart. This resistance is often a sign that you're exactly where you need to be. The enemy wouldn't try to stop you if you weren't heading towards something powerful. It's in these moments of tension, where opportunity meets opposition, where anticipation meets uncertainty, that your faith is tested and strengthened. God is not just preparing the external circumstances for your greatness. He's preparing you. He's refining your character, teaching you resilience, and sharpening your discernment. The greatness you're about to step into isn't just about what you will accomplish, It's about who you will become in the process. This is where anticipation becomes a tool for growth. Instead of seeing it as a frustrating delay, recognize it as a necessary stage in your spiritual development. The waiting isn't wasted. God is using this time to mold you into the person who can carry the greatness He's destined for you. It's easy to focus on the external aspects of greatness, success, recognition, impact, but true greatness begins within. It's about aligning your heart with God's will, learning to trust Him even when the future feels uncertain, and being willing to surrender your own plans in exchange for His. As you reflect on this period of anticipation, it's important to ask yourself, what is God trying to teach me right now? Is there a part of you that's still holding on to control, afraid to fully surrender to the unknown? Are there areas of your life where you need to grow in faith, trusting that God's timing is perfect, even when it doesn't align with your own? These questions will help prepare you for the next phase, allowing you to step into your greatness with peace and purpose. Greatness doesn't happen alone. Recognize the people God has placed around you. They guide and encourage your divine journey. As we've journeyed through the previous sections, we've explored how the anticipation and tension you've been feeling are all part of the divine process God has set for your life. You've been walking through a season of preparation, one that has not always been easy. There have been moments of doubt, uncertainty, and even frustration, but every challenge you've faced, every lesson you've learned, has brought you to this point. This is not a moment of conclusion, but rather the climax of everything that's been unfolding. You are on the brink of stepping into something much greater, something that will align your path with the divine purpose God has prepared for you. The anticipation you've been feeling is not a sign of delay or denial, it's a sign of transformation. Often, we misinterpret waiting as wasted time, but God is never idle in our waiting seasons. In fact, it's during these times of waiting that He is doing His deepest work in us. He is refining you, strengthening your faith, and molding you into the person who is fully capable of carrying the greatness He has destined for you. This brings us to the core of today's message. Stepping into greatness is not about arriving at a destination, but about becoming who God has called you to be. The world may define greatness through achievements, accolades, and success, but in the kingdom of God, greatness is defined by how closely your heart aligns with God's will. It's about living with purpose, walking in obedience, and allowing God to work through you to bring His light into the world. You've likely been wrestling with some of the questions that many chosen ones do. Am I ready for this? Do I have what it takes to walk in my divine calling? These are natural questions to ask, but today I want to reassure you that God does not call the equipped, He equips the called. You've been chosen for a specific purpose, and the journey you've been on has been preparing you in ways you may not even realize yet. This is the breakthrough moment you've been waiting for, the realization that everything you need to step into your greatness is already within you. God has already planted the seeds of purpose, the gifts, and the abilities you will need to fulfill your calling. The waiting has been about bringing those gifts to maturity. Now, it's time to fully embrace them. But here's where the revelation deepens. Stepping into greatness doesn't mean the challenges will disappear. It doesn't mean the path ahead will be without obstacles. In fact, sometimes stepping into your purpose brings new challenges, because the enemy does not want to see God's plans come to fruition in your life. But here's the truth. God has already equipped you to overcome every challenge that lies ahead. Every struggle you've faced in the past was not meant to break you, but to build the resilience and faith you will need to walk in your divine calling. You see, greatness in the kingdom of God is not about ease or comfort. It's about endurance, faith, and perseverance. It's about trusting that God's plans are greater than our own, even when we don't see the full picture. It's about stepping out in faith, even when the path ahead seems unclear. This brings us to an essential point. Greatness requires surrender. One of the most profound truths you will learn as you step into your divine purpose is that it's not about your plans, your ambitions, or even your strength. It's about surrendering all of that to God and trusting Him to lead you. This is where many of us struggle. We want to step into greatness, but we also want to hold on to control. We want God to move in our lives, but we're afraid to let go of our own plans. But the truth is, surrender is where true greatness is found. When you surrender your plans to God, you make room for Him to do something far greater than you could ever imagine. Surrender is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a declaration of faith that says, God, I trust you more than I trust myself. I trust your plans more than my own. When you surrender, you open the door for God to move in ways that you never thought possible. You invite Him to take control of your life, and in doing so, you align yourself with His divine purpose. The greatness you are stepping into is not something you have to force or strive for. It's something that will naturally flow from your surrender to God's will. This is the moment of breakthrough, the realization that you don't have to do it all on your own. God is with you, guiding you, equipping you, and leading you into your purpose. The doubts and fears that once held you back no longer have power over you because you now understand that God has already prepared you for this. The greatness He has placed within you is not dependent on your abilities, but on His power working through you. As you step into this new season, let this be your guiding truth. Greatness is about obedience. It's about saying yes to God's call, even when you don't have all the answers. It's about walking in faith, trusting that He will provide everything you need along the way. The greatness you are stepping into will unfold as you continue to say yes to His leading, one step at a time. And here's where the emotional climax comes. This greatness is not just for you. The purpose God has for you is intricately tied to the people He has placed in your life. Your journey, your story, your breakthrough will impact those around you in ways you cannot yet see. The greatness you are stepping into is not just about what you will accomplish, but about how you will influence others for the kingdom of God. When you walk in your divine purpose, others will be drawn to the light of God within you. Your life will become a beacon of hope, a testimony of God's faithfulness, and an example of what is possible when we fully surrender to His will. This is the true power of greatness. It's not about personal success, but about becoming a vessel through which God's love, grace, and purpose flow into the lives of others. As we draw toward the conclusion of this message, understand that this is just the beginning. The greatness you are stepping into is a lifelong journey of faith, obedience, and transformation. There will be moments of triumph, and there will be moments of struggle, but through it all, God will be with you, guiding you, and equipping you for every step of the journey. So, chosen one, step boldly into your greatness. Trust that God has prepared the way for you. Release doubts, fears, and surrender to His will. As you do, doors will open, opportunities will arise, and miracles will unfold. Your breakthrough is here. The greatness within you is ready to shine. Step fully into it. God is with you. As we've journeyed through the previous sections, we've seen the build-up of anticipation, the sense that something significant is about to unfold in your life as a chosen one. You've been prepared for this moment through trials, lessons, and experiences that have shaped you for the purpose God has called you to fulfill. Now, you're standing on the edge of a breakthrough, and everything you've encountered has been leading you to this moment. But what does stepping into greatness truly mean, and how can you fully embrace this calling? The anticipation you felt isn't just a random feeling. It's the work of the Holy Spirit within you, stirring your heart and mind for the greatness that's about to be revealed. In the earlier sections, we discussed how waiting and preparation are necessary parts of your spiritual journey. The struggles you faced weren't meant to hold you back, but to equip you with the strength, wisdom, and endurance you would need to carry out God's plan for your life. This time of waiting has been a divine strategy, allowing you to grow and become the person who can handle the greatness that's coming. But the greatness God has for you is not about worldly success or recognition. It's important to clarify that stepping into greatness, as defined by God, is deeply rooted in your divine purpose and alignment with His will. It's not about chasing fame, wealth, or validation from others. Rather, it's about becoming who God created you to be and fulfilling the specific mission He has placed on your life. True greatness, in God's eyes, is measured by your obedience, your faith, and your impact on those around you, especially when that impact is done in His name. This is where the real revelation comes into play. Greatness is less about what you accomplish and more about who you become in the process. God is more interested in your character than your achievements. He wants you to grow into someone who reflects His love, compassion, and grace in every aspect of your life. The transformation that has been happening within you is the real greatness, and everything that flows from that transformation is a natural extension of your walk with God. One of the greatest challenges for many of us is letting go of the worldly definition of success. Society tells us that greatness is about status, accolades, and material wealth. But as a chosen one, you're called to a higher standard. The greatness you're about to step into may not look like what the world expects, but it will be far more fulfilling because it aligns with God's perfect plan for your life. Think about the times you've questioned your readiness for this moment. You may have wondered whether you're truly prepared or whether you have the skills or qualifications necessary to step into this new season. But here's the truth: God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called. Every experience you've had, whether good or bad, has been a part of your training. The wisdom you've gained, the patience you've developed, and the faith you've strengthened were all designed to prepare you for this exact moment. As you step into this next phase, one of the key lessons you'll need to carry with you is the importance of surrender. Stepping into greatness is not about taking control or forcing things to happen. It's about yielding to God's will and allowing Him to direct your path. Surrender means letting go of your own expectations and trusting that God's plan is far greater than anything you could imagine for yourself. This might feel counterintuitive because we often equate greatness with action, doing more, striving harder, and pushing ourselves to the limit. But in God's kingdom, greatness is found in surrender. It's found in allowing God to work through you rather than trying to do it all on your own. This is where true peace and power come from, knowing that you don't have to figure everything out by yourself because God is leading you every step of the way. As you reflect on this, consider how God has been preparing you in ways you may not have realized. The lessons learned in times of struggle, the patience developed during periods of waiting, and the faith deepened through challenges were all part of His preparation process. The greatness you're stepping into has been built on the foundation of these experiences. You are ready, not because of your own abilities, but because God has equipped you. One of the most powerful aspects of this revelation is understanding that your greatness is not just for you, it's for others. The purpose God has for you is intricately connected to the people around you, those you will influence, inspire, and help along their own journeys. As you step into your greatness, you will naturally become a beacon of light for others, showing them what's possible when you walk in alignment with God's purpose. This is where your impact begins to multiply. The more you walk in your divine purpose, the more people will be drawn to the light of God working through you. Your journey, your story, and your breakthrough are not just for your benefit. They are part of a larger tapestry that God is weaving in the lives of others. The greatness you're stepping into is about fulfilling your role in that divine tapestry, and every step you take in obedience brings others closer to their own breakthroughs. The greatness God has for you is already within you. You're not chasing something external or waiting for validation to confirm your worth. God has placed potential, gifts, and calling inside you, waiting to be realized. As you surrender to His will, that greatness will naturally emerge. This is your breakthrough moment. The doubts and fears no longer have power, As you now understand that God has equipped you for this time, step into it with faith. The greatness you've been waiting for is already inside you. Now is the time to let it shine. As we come to the end of this message, remember that the greatness you are stepping into is already within you. God has been preparing you for this moment, equipping you with everything you need to fulfill your divine purpose. You no longer have to wait for external validation or fear that you aren't ready. God has already placed the gifts, potential, and calling inside of you, and now is the time to fully embrace it. The journey ahead is one of faith, obedience, and trust in God's perfect timing. You are not walking this path alone. God is with you, guiding you every step of the way. As you continue to align your heart with His will and surrender your plans, doors will open and opportunities will arise that will allow your greatness to shine for His glory. Chosen one, if this message resonated with you, I encourage you to stay connected with our community. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the divine wisdom meant to uplift and guide you. Join the conversation in the comments and engage with other chosen ones who are walking this path of purpose and growth. Share this message with someone who needs encouragement and invite them to be part of this journey. Together, we can continue spreading God's message of love, hope, and purpose. Your breakthrough is here, and your greatness is ready to be revealed. Stay tuned, chosen one. There is so much more ahead for you as you step boldly into the fullness of your calling. Trust that God is guiding you every step of the way, and as you embrace His plan, miracles will unfold in your life. Subscribe and stay connected with our community, and let's walk this journey of faith and purpose together. Your best days are just beginning. If this message touched your heart and you'd like to support the Chosen Ones community, consider donating to our Patreon. Your contribution helps us continue to create spiritually enriching content that uplifts and guides you and others on this sacred path. By supporting us, you become a part of something greater, helping to spread God's message of love, hope, faith, healing, and divine purpose. Every donation makes a meaningful difference in continuing this work for chosen ones like you. Thank you for being part of this journey and helping us continue to shine God's light into the world.